I've lived in Austin for 31 years, and lately I've been asking myself, should I stay or should I go? In this video, I'm going to be sharing what it's really been like to see the city change, why I've stayed this long, and whether or not I still see a future here. In case you don't know me, my name is Shannon Green, and I'm a local realtor here in Austin, Texas. And while most of my videos are about helping people relocate to this city or get to know the area, this one's gonna be a little more personal. I wanted to reflect on what it's been like to actually live in this city for this long, through all of its changes, and share an honest look as to why I've stayed and why I've thought about leaving. To kind of give you some background, I grew up in a small town called Orange, Texas. It was right on the swamp in Southeast Texas, and it has great people, but I felt like it had limited opportunity and I needed and wanted more. So I moved to Austin in the mid-90s, and I can say it instantly felt like the right choice. I met people easily and every day felt like an adventure. I was hiking, I was on the water, I went to the hike and bike trail, I was grabbing drinks downtown with friends. It was safe, vibrant, and everybody was different and everyone was accepted. Rent was affordable. When I first moved to Austin, I moved up north off of Breaker and Metric. And then after that, I slowly made my way to central Austin in a town called Clarksville. I moved into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, large apartment with a beautiful porch overlooking a tree-lined street in the middle of the neighborhood, and I paid, get ready for it, $985, all bills paid, for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath right in the heart of downtown. That's $492.50 each because I had a roommate. And that roommate had a boyfriend, so she was never at the apartment. So I basically had it all to myself. It felt like luxury. This is when I fell in love with the charm of the downtown neighborhoods. Neighborhoods like Clarksville, Terrytown, Bolden Creek, Zilker, Travis Heights. All of these neighborhoods had such quaint, beautiful, older homes, many of which had been redone. Some were in the midst of being worked on, but no house looked alike, and all of them had such charm. In the late 90s, I had a group of friends that loved to go wakeboarding, and I was an avid wakeboarder. We spent so many days on Lake Austin. It was sunshine, music, and no responsibility. There was such an innocence to all of it. And looking back at it, I don't think any of us realized how fortunate we were to be living in that moment in Austin, because right at that same time, the dot-com boom was happening. So I was in the service industry. So tips were plenty. Everyone was so generous because there was a lot of money flowing in Austin at that time. And I had no idea that that wasn't really reality, that the money was more than the norm. And so we never had money issues. We had nonstop fun. It was just the perfect time to be in Austin. It felt like life was wide open. At that same time, I remember gas was under $1. I remember paying 94 cents a gallon when I was driving to college from Austin to San Marcos. There was no traffic. You could grab dinner and not have to wait for a table, no problem. Life just felt easy. My bills were minimal. I was making money, and there was so much fun to be had. So why have I stayed in Austin all these years?
Are you thinking about relocating to Austin and the surrounding areas? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide. This will save you hours of research, and I've linked it down below. From top employers, best hospitals, and a boatload of other things you might need to know, this guide will assist you in making your move to Austin. The best part is it's 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. I hope that helps.
This part is a little more personal because the reasons go beyond the city itself. They have everything to do with my life, the people I love, and how deeply tied those things are to this place. In 2004, I met my husband. At that time, my mom was sick, and I was driving home often to be with her. I didn't feel dateable at that time, but he saw me and he stayed, and he has been by my side ever since. Not long after we met, my priorities started shifting fast. I never imagined that my adult life would begin by becoming a caregiver to both of my parents, but that's exactly what happened. And because of that, I sought out work that gave me flexibility. Jobs that allowed me to earn, but be flexible enough for me to get home when I needed to be there. Becoming a loan officer was one of those roles. It offered me flexibility at the time, and looking back, it was also the very beginning of my interest in real estate. I didn't know it then, but that experience planted the first seed. Around that time, my husband had built an insanely successful steak night business at all of the Little Woodrow's locations, and this allowed me to do the behind-the-scenes work, pull back from what I was doing, and only work 3 days a week. This allowed me the space I needed to be there for my mom. And when they say everything happens for a reason, I truly believe this, and I was blessed. Eventually, years later, I stepped into the corporate world. I was working in sales for a manufacturing company. I did that for 14 years. I worked my way up to a regional manager position for the healthcare segment for the company, and I was surrounded by incredible leaders. I learned so much working in this company, and it shaped and molded me to who I am today in the business world. But climbing up the corporate ladder also meant that travel was increasing, and I had already brought my dad up to Austin after my mom passed away because his health was failing. Trying to juggle everything on the road while I was in a different state every week just became too much. And that is when my husband said, "You have always loved real estate. You've always wanted to do it. It's time." So I took the leap of faith and I did it. I started my business and I haven't looked back. It's the best decision I could have ever made. It's allowed me to build something for myself and be right here in Austin and be here for my dad all at the same time. I will say that caregiving has been one of the hardest parts of my life. It's emotionally draining and sometimes isolating. But in the midst of that, leaning into real estate, something I genuinely love, has also given me purpose and energy. It's not just work for me. It's a way to stay connected, to stay hopeful, and to help people with one of the biggest financial decisions of their life. There's something so rewarding about guiding someone through such an important moment, helping them feel confident, informed, and supported every step of the way. It keeps me grounded and focused, even on the hard days, because at the end of the day, helping people find the right home is something I genuinely believe in. And Austin has given me pockets of relief, whether it's a patio with live music, a walk on the trail, or just being on the water. This city has given me peace when I needed it most. It's almost like therapy. I know that might be hard to comprehend if you don't live here, but I can promise you there is joy here even in hard seasons. Now, with my dad just 10 minutes away from me in assisted living, and my mother-in-law who has moved here too for the same reasons, it is clear that our goal wasn't to move somewhere and start something new. We were already rooted here in Austin. Instead, we brought our family closer to the life we had already created here. And that closeness, having them nearby, woven into our daily lives, has made all the difference in the world.
Hey guys, Shannon Green here, and as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love more. That's helping families like you make the move here to Austin, Texas. I've helped countless families make the move, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or next year, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen and linked in the description in case you missed that on-screen pop-up. And I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Austin.
But let's be honest, Austin is not the same city that it once was. Our property taxes have tripled. Grocery bills, utilities, they've all gone up. My dad's assisted living costs go up annually. I see clients, both young and old, that are moving out to the suburbs strictly for affordability. Those who stay, like me, we've just accepted that the price of convenience and access to things just comes at a cost. Traffic is a different world now. I used to commute from Austin to San Marcos to go to college every day. No big deal. Today, I plan everything around the traffic. When to shop, where to go, when to leave, and development here has exploded. and it looks different in different areas. Places like Leander or Pflugerville and Round Rock, those were developed more recently. Where I live in Southwest Austin is a little bit older and was developed a while back. So they have two different looks and feels. In these newer developed areas, you see less trees. You see them on the outskirts of the neighborhood, but not so much in the yards. Where I live, they saved the trees. So it's a lot more mature landscaping, a little more quaint, a little more character, if you will. There's still charm here in Austin, especially in the older neighborhoods. It's just not as easy to find as it used to be. And culturally, Austin doesn't feel as connected. You used to run into people you knew everywhere you went, but Austin was smaller and everyone went from north to south, east, west. It was no big deal. We drove all over the city to see each other and do different things. Now it feels more spread out because it is. And because of traffic and more developments and more population, people tend to stay in their bubbles, is what I call it. So once you live in an area and all the conveniences are there, you kind of stay put unless you're doing a special occasion thing. Even grabbing dinner with friends used to be so easy, but now if you have more than a group of 4, probably need to get a reservation. In those early years, most of us were single or just dating. Life was just spontaneous and free back then. But over time, things just naturally shifted. Many of my friends got married, started families, and just had naturally more responsibilities. And while I didn't have kids, largely because I was caring for both of my parents when what would have been the prime to be having kids, I still feel incredibly lucky to have had those untethered years here in Austin when it felt like anything was possible. Life changes, but those memories still anchor me to this place. There's no resentment, just nostalgia. I think there's something special about being single back in those early years. We were all just dating, figuring things out, living life in the moment. What you're supposed to be doing in your early to mid-20s. Nobody had kids yet. We weren't tied down. When we wanted to do something, we just did it. Life was simpler. And I feel lucky to have experienced Austin during that time, when it felt like everything was aligning in the best way. We had freedom, no money worries, that small town vibe that Austin had, and no traffic. It was a perfect season, and I don't think any of us really realized how special it was back then. I am just so glad that I got to experience that smaller Austin back in those years and got to know so many people and go all over town and live the way that we lived back then. It would look different if someone moved to Austin today. Still fun, but they'll never get what we had. With everything that's changed and all these years I've lived here, I think it's fair to ask, have I ever seriously considered leaving Austin? And the answer is yes, more than once. We considered Nashville. At the time, it was quirky and had that Austin vibe to it, and it was smaller than Austin right when Austin was starting to explode. But now, look how much it's grown. The development, the traffic, and the prices. If we had moved there, I think I would be having this very same conversation, just in a different place. And that's when it hit me. It's not just about the city. It's more about how you're living in it. I'm not chasing the next hot market. I'm focused on building a life that fits. And right now, that still includes Austin.
Now for the question of the day. For those of you that are considering moving to Austin, where are you moving from? And why are you moving from the area where you live now? I'm truly curious, so leave a comment below and let me know. And better yet, email, text me, or call me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. My information should pop up on the screen.
So what now? I'm still here, still grounded, still paying attention to how the city evolves and how we evolve with it. We've talked about moving, maybe to Driftwood. It's only 10 miles from where we live now, but there you can live in a beautiful house on acreage and you feel like you're in the country, yet you have all the conveniences of everything around you. You just live on a bigger piece of land. The sky seems brighter at night with all the stars. It almost feels like it's a slower pace, even though it's only 10 miles away. Or Maybe we just stay here and add on to our house. I'm missing two things. I would like a designated office in my home, which I don't have now. I work and converted a bedroom into an office. And then I would love to have a man room for my husband so he could put up all of his things that he hunts and put it up on the walls and have an actual man room for himself. If we had those two things, we'd have everything we need in this home. But the truth is, we love where we are. We love our neighborhood. We love seeing the kids swimming. We love seeing people playing pickleball and playing tennis. There's such a great energy in our neighborhood. The community feel that people look for, we have that here. So it's really hard to leave the way our neighborhood looks. We bought our house back in the day because I fell in love with the look of the neighborhood, not for the home. The trees, all the oak trees in our neighborhood are gorgeous. They weren't torn down to build these houses. So we have great homes built in the late 70s, beautiful trees, and a great sense of community. And it's really hard to beat that for me, especially when we are in this perfect spot that's 15 minutes to downtown and 15 minutes to the airport. You just can't beat all of that. So have I thought about moving? Yes, but not far. But the truth is, we've got a really good thing going on right here. And sometimes that's all you need. If you're thinking about moving to Austin, my advice is this: get really clear on what you care about. Commute, schools, nature, community. Find that pocket of Austin that matches what it is that you're looking for. And if you already live here and you feel a little bit off balance, that's okay. It's okay to miss what was and still build something great in what is. That's been my experience. Learning to accept the changes, but also to appreciate what's still great about living here. The trails, the neighborhoods, the lifestyle. Austin is different now, but there are still plenty of ways to enjoy it and build something meaningful. So thank you for being here and letting me tell you about my 31-year Austin journey. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. Whether you're planning a move, already here, or just reflecting on how much your own city has changed, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Are you staying, leaving, or reimagining life where you are? And if you're considering Austin, I've put together a relocation guide. It is linked below. I would love to help you figure out where you would feel at home here. It is my privilege being a realtor and helping families find that perfect place to call home and to find the perfect fit in a city that keeps evolving. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.